Good morning, Zoo here, and today we're talking Subnautica 2. That's right, because this controversy around Subnautica 2 is, how do I put this delicately? Regarded? Yeah, there we go. So, with that, grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? But hey, before we get started, I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So hit that notification bell, hit the follow button, the subscribe button, all that good stuff. So if you want to come join us, chill out while we're just playing a video game Monday and Wednesday, go ahead and do so. And if you want to join the conversation on Friday when we talk about news like this, well, you got to do the same thing there too, and you can come join us then. I'll see you then. So yeah, there are things we can talk about when it comes to Subnautica 2. And it's not what we're going to talk about. Right? So, you've got like the Eula drama, okay? So you've got the Eula drama where it comes out and says, by the way, you do anything with this game, we own it. You don't own it, we own it no matter what, right? The whole standard boilerplate thing that they do now, and that includes mods too. If you make a mod, we own that, which I don't think anyone should ever be allowed to have access or own your mod. They can own the assets used in the mod, but not the mod itself. But anyway, that's my thoughts on that. But that's not what we're going to talk about. No, that's not. Because instead, we've got this. The grifters are mad because you, checks notes, can't shoot a fish in a video game. Why, guys? Why? We just talked about a game with fake outrage, right? Where they were trying to drum up fake outrage on this game, and nobody, of course, took the bait, as they shouldn't. But yeah, Grum's over here. As much as I love Grum's, this was not the hill to step onto and try to do it. So we've got Subnautica here. Let's get into it. Subnautica 2 is a pacifist ideological woven into the game. Yes, it does. Just like the first one. Players have noticed you cannot defend yourself against attacking fish. That is absolutely correct. Not even self-defense. Only passive means are available. This is why, by design, you can kill anything, because the devs feel it would support gun violence and aspects of colonialism. Subnautica is one vote towards a world with less guns, a reminder that there is another way forward. We want people to feel like they're learning to adapt to the world rather than being a conqueror or a dominator. We aren't a killing game. Go play Sons of the Forest or something if you want to kill. The anti-violence stance gets stronger from Subnautica 1 to 2, which now has a complete no-kill policy even when you kill a fish, or even when the fish can still kill you. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to kill anything in this game. Like, downright, just straight up net. I was not. You know why? Because you couldn't kill things in the first game. Like, seriously, this is not a new thing. Like, Subnautica. Let's be real here. It was a success story. It was a single A. It was an indie success story. Alright? And here we can go ahead and look at Subnautica 1. It did pretty decent or whatnot. And then you've got Subnautica 2 over here, which is doing way more than the first one did, right? Now, granted, the play count is coming down because, I'm not exactly sure why Subnautica pushed out 2 million copies in 12 hours. I can only assume it has something to do with, the Crafton lawsuit and people saying, we're here to support you because evil Crafton, yada, yada, yada. But also at the same time, the game hasn't changed from the first one, and it may not be the game for you. I'm sorry. Yeah, so we've got the timeline of Subnautica 2's controversy, lawsuits, delays, and 250 million showdown with Crafton, because Crafton came in. See, Crafton essentially scooped up their studio, right? And offered 250 million in bonuses to everybody in charge and all the developers if they got it out by the end of last year. Well, instead of letting that happen, Crafton did everything they could to prevent that. Then came in and just fired all the guys at the top at the end of the year to screw everyone over on their bonuses. And then there was this big lawsuit in it. It turns out Grafton's CEO felt the need to use ChatGPT or somebody to teach him how, or to as a lawyer, I guess, to fire these guys. And after everything, like lawyers and ChatGPT told him you probably shouldn't do that, he talked ChatGPT into figuring it out for him anyway. And yeah, it was this big thing because he didn't want to be embarrassed, but he wound up with more egg on his face as a result of this. Anyway, because in his mind, he spent too much on this game. Right? But anyway, I have a feeling that's the reason this game sold 2 million in 12 hours. Otherwise, it probably would have hit maybe 100,000, 150,000, maybe. That's my guess, is that is where this game would have been, being a sequel. Instead, it is a 200 million seller. But yeah, just like the original, we'll pop Grums back up here. This game doesn't have any killing in it. Like, I thought about it. I'm not gonna lie, this game hit my radar at one point in time, okay? My kids play the first one, and they're waiting to play the second one. And this game did hit my radar at one point in time. And I had talked to Chad about it way back then, and was like, hey, have you ever tried Subnautica? I feel like that might be a game that might be up our alley, because, we were playing a lot of things like 7 Days to Die and other stuff at the time, a lot of survival-esque games, and he was like, nope, that one is not up our alley. I was like, oh, why not? And he goes, because I can't punch a fish. It's like, fair enough, because you can't punch a fish. Fair enough, which, that was the whole reason why we haven't played, Subnautica for the most part. It's like, you can't defend yourself. I mean, granted, there are things like low force fields and electrical fields and stuff like that you can put around your base to defend them from things. But, the game itself is more like, if you ask me, it's a survival horror game more than anything. Just due to the fact that, it is the deep ocean. And, you've got to survive. And there are leviathans and other large things in the water that could, quite frankly, kill you. But you have a whole slew of things to help prevent that from happening, from, different craft and stuff that you could pilot, different things that repel various monsters and things like that to prevent it from happening. So to me, it's more like a horror survival type-esque game than anything else. I'm not sure what it's technically classified as, but I mean, I know it's made my kid jump more than once. Or at least the first game, and then below zero at some point in time you can hear the screaming from his room when it happens or something. But it's just one of those things. It's like, guys, this is not our game. I'm sorry. If you wanted to play Subnautica and you thought you were going to go punch a leviathan, it's not going to happen. And I don't think yelling at the developers are going to change that. This is one of those developers, they're set in their ways. They decided they weren't going to use guns ever because of, apparently, I guess, Columbine or something, which was... Yeah, anyway. I honestly don't remember what year that was in. Anyway, so yeah, they decided they were going to go with this pacifist thing, and that's right. This is a rich, pacifist, whatever you want to go about calling it, right? And, you can't defend yourself. But, that's just how this game goes. And it's very successful at doing it for being an indie studio. So there's not much more to tell or much more to say about that. If, however, you want something where you could attack stuff, try Core Keeper. That one's a survival game. You can attack things. There's a slime wall with tentacles. Don't ask me more. Anyway, no, but seriously, you got things like 7 Days to Die. I guess that Sons of the Force, which I'm not sure what that is. I think that was on my list of things to eventually play and never did. You got Windrose now. You want a pirate themed one. But yeah, this just isn't our game. It never was, and it's not going to be. This is not the hill to fall on, guys. When they sit there and they call us a grifter, it's because we do things like this, which is absolutely regarded. we shouldn't be doing this. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.